What's up, y'all? It's Colin Sexton. You checking into 3-point conversion. Hey, tune in.
Seemed like the close of the second quarter, and you guys went a big run to the third, then it kind of flipped again the other way, close to the third. Probably, I guess, when you broke the last and went through. What did you kind of see?
Well, I'm going to say like the last probably 17 minutes of the game. I don't know how much we scored. I know we started the third quarter like 19-2. You know, then they went small, started switching everything, which slowed us down. Then they played the zone a little bit more. I thought in the first half against the zone, we actually got really good shots. In the second half, not as good. You know, shit, you can't score 16 points in the fourth quarter and win, you know.
I know the team's going through some offensive struggles with Gordon and LaMelo. Obviously, do you feel, for the most part, you guys are doing a good job at least kind of sticking with it defensively? Sometimes when the offense can't score, it kind of goes a little the other way. Do you feel like that's happening?
Well, I think tonight in the third quarter, and also in that stretch in the second quarter that you're talking about, you know, we come and go. You know, we're, like right now, we're, you know, middle of the pack in the league in transition defense. That hurt us tonight again, you know, in those stretches that you're talking about. Which is, to me, is just, you know, discipline of play, commitment. You know, it's got nothing to do with talent. Our defensive rebounding got better, but to start the game, obviously, we started the game without the necessary physicality. And those are things that we're going to have to do, even when we get, Melo and Gordon back, and Cody. You know, like last year, you know, we were 28th in defensive rebounding in the league, you know, and we're playing. I mean, you're not going to win. You know, you're not going to win against good teams consistently. And right now, going into tonight, we're like 21st. So we've gotten a little better, but not even close to the level of physicality that we're going to have to play with.
Steve, I mean, you know, 6-game losing streak. I mean, how much of this do you attribute to, you know, being so banged up and being so injured?
That's the biggest part of it, but we're still good enough to win, though. You know, think about it, we've had games here that if we just would have played well for 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, we could have won the game tonight. We could have won against Brooklyn, could have won against Sacramento. You know, we've had games that we've had a good chance to win. We give a lot of possessions away. You know, what you're saying, stick with it, understand what's going to work, you know, anything. And I thought tonight in the second quarter where we had that problem is just, you know, move the ball to the open man. Just move the ball. Sometimes you got to move the ball just to move it. And when we did that against the zone early, we were good. And when we didn't, it was hard.
You mentioned moving the ball. Ever since Gordon Hayward left that game against Chicago, the assist numbers have been pretty down. 21 tonight. Is that just as simple as missing as many ball handlers as you are right now? And if so, how do you combat that with the guys you have on the roster there?
Yeah, no, well, it's a big part of it, for sure, because, you know, like, you know, he's such a good decision maker. And when we had I was looking at the numbers today, so after the fifth game, and we had Gordon and Terry, I think, for the first three, right? After the fifth game, we were like fifth in offense, you know. But when those guys were both out there, you know, because one more guy makes a huge difference, you know. And, but since he's got hurt, we've really struggled offensively.
You guys were outscored tonight on the bench 35-22.
Yeah.
When you go into the subs there, what are you seeing right now with the bench for you guys?
Yeah, they've had nights where they've been really good. You know, tonight not as good. We brought the lineup there in the third quarter, and that was probably the biggest part of the game, right? We had good momentum, and we didn't get as good a play. But those guys they've had their moments when they've done a good job. You know, they weren't as good tonight, but that's not been an every night issue, though. You know.
And then how do you keep the team, I guess, psyche up in a good, positive mode right now? We lost 6 straight games, and guys are banged up, and just searching for answers right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a you know, look at our schedule. You know, 2 in a row in Miami. You know, at Orlando. You know, we play 1, 2, 3, 6 more games before we get 2 days off, which will help us. But that's what this league is. You know, it's not. I think a lot of times, you know, the younger guys, that's what they have to learn is, it's not, you know, can you get 24? It's can you get 18 every night? You know, can you handle frustration, disappointment, put a lot into a game, lose, and come back the next night and play hard? I mean, that's just what this league is. You know, I won't tell you the player, but I remember my first year in New York. You know, I'd been in college for a long time, and we played 4 and 5 nights, and they were out warming up, and we had an older team, and I was like, man, you know, people don't realize what you go through. And he had the great line I've never forgotten. He said, and it's not for everybody. And that's what this league is all about. You know, if you can't embrace that, you don't have the mental toughness, discipline to do it every night, it's a tough league.
Steve, I mean, fans, you know, certainly want to know, you know, when's LaMelo coming back? Do you have any rough idea of when that might be?
I mean, you know, all 3 of them, they're doing everything they can. I mean, I get people who stop me on the street. They're in here, they come back at night, you know, they're doing double. It's, and they're closer, they're able to do some things, but, you know, they're not going to be playing tomorrow night, you know. I mean, so for sure they're getting better. They're doing everything they can do. We have a great performance staff. Yeah, I hope so too.
So
Yeah.
is it more day-to-day or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say day-to-day, I guess, you know. Good? I'm sorry.
Sorry. You mentioned the defense kind of going in and out, the inconsistency of it. How much of it is just not having a guy like Cody Martin out there, like the way he can impact defense?
Oh, no question. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, again, experienced players, you know, are such a big deal because they've done it before, right? They played on the road. They've been in a bunch of games where you're up 15, then all of a sudden it's 3, you know, and they stay with it. You know, they stay with it. So, yeah, it's for sure. It's a big part of it, for sure. Good. Thank you.